Hey everyone, here's an update on the frog ponds. You'll notice that the little fountain there is kind of dried up. This is a moss filter. It apparently hasn't been working for a few days, and now I got it to work again and put a bigger solar panel on it. This solar fountain and this little solar fountain here, this one's 15 bucks, that one's 40 bucks. You're just paying for the bigger panel, I realized. The little power head under the water is the exact same model, so it just pumps faster with a bigger panel. So this year, not many tadpoles left in this pond. They're just about gone. There's so many green frogs here that hang around the ponds all the time, never going away. They ate all the tadpoles. On rainy nights, they leave the ponds in search of bugs and other things. Some return, some don't. Some new ones show up from ponds we don't even know about in the woods. And we have a lot of green frogs now, which I'm happy about. We also have a lot of garter snakes this year, attracted by the increase of frogs and tadpoles. Ribbon snakes. Pretty cool. Nature has a way of balancing itself out. There's still quite a few tadpoles in the other ponds. Let me show you that. This thing should be working by the time we come back completely down the fountain. It's very slow. It only pumps like a gallon of water every 10 minutes. But that slow filtering does help purify the water. And this is about to turn on soon. What time is it? Yeah, 15 more minutes. This will run for 3 hours on a trickle to replenish their water. And I heard someone croak. The catmint is now out in full bloom. The pollinators love that. Over here I had a salad. Threw out the leftovers. And look, we already got a few tadpoles. This pond still has a healthy amount of tadpoles. There's still many, many hundreds of them in here. Many hundreds. So we'll have a lot of little froglets maybe in a month. You see the drain, we're about 1.5 inches under capacity because it's been pretty hot out this week. Lots of sun. But once again, in 15 minutes, that hose nozzle will turn on for 3 hours, slowly flushing it out to purify it. The water's actually very clear for day 3. Usually it would be more polluted, but I was gone for a little bit, haven't been feeding them as much. Look at this, we got some string algae starting to grow. I love that stuff. The baby barn swallows that were here 4 days ago on my garage security light have flown away. Not here anymore. Still a lot of tadpoles over in this pond. I gotta come give them food. Up. Look, they're already growing legs. It's just a matter of a few weeks before they start leaving the pond. You see that? They're eating algae off the side, but there's not really much. They're hungry. Let's go throw some food in here. Most of them actually have legs now. Look at that. Cool. So the barn swallows, I realize, both parents guard over them. If I go near them, they'll start swarming around me, making clicking sounds to try to get me out of there. But the barn swallow babies, this year there was 4 of them. They get so big that they're like towering out of the nest where the parents can't even sleep there anymore. But they guard them nearby. Garden's doing well. This sprinkler timer turns on at 5 a.m. for 20 minutes every day. It's going to be the first hot week of the year. Maybe we'll get some good growth starting out of some of this stuff. The cucumbers haven't grown at all. They might die. I don't know why. It's not the slugs this year, but everything else is flourishing. Got a bunch of romaine, and that's iceberg lettuce. I might have that backwards, but those are definitely carrots. We have a whole bunch of them. And look, there's a robin up there. See it? Oh, wait. I wasn't angled right. So last year with the barn swallows, I'm kind of glad that they were gone when I returned. The past year, or last year, when I opened the garage door, it scared the babies away prematurely. They were probably ready to fly away in the next day or so, but fledglings usually leave the nest early in the morning, spend the whole day hopping around, learning how to fly and stuff, and hopefully by that night they can get themselves in a tree so a predator doesn't eat them. But by opening the garage door at like 9 at night, they flew off into the woods. And it's dark, easy for predators. They're gonna want to sleep at that hour. So I felt bad, and I luckily found all the babies, round them up, put them in a bird cage, brought them in the house overnight. In the morning, brought them back outside where the parents were still looking for them. Parents took them right back, protected them while they were jumping around, and eventually they flew away by the end of the day. So I think by bringing them in the house, that probably saved them. because something would probably eat them on the forest floor throughout the night. I think we have a robin's nest somewhere. I don't really know where. We always have robins hanging out in the trees now, and we had some very angry robins about a week ago making noises when there was a hawk in the yard, trying to scare it away from their nest, but we don't know where the nest is. All right, so my really big frog pond is getting a little bit green. It's been dry out, so there's no water feeding it anymore this time of year from the sump pump pit. When it rains hard, we rely on these sump pumps to keep the basement dry. I don't trust the sump pumps because they were on every 5 minutes originally. Short story, we dug a drain line off the hill in the yard, and we ended it in a frog pond. So in the summer months, we go ahead and stick this hose down in there, which can supply about 8 gallons a minute to the pond, and we'll literally let this thing run all day. And that water will be out there, come out of the frog pond nice and rapidly. Let's go meet it out there. Yeah, it's looking pretty murky and green out here, so we'll let that water run for a while out of the sump pump pit. Let it run. This is a 6,000 gallon pond, so we'll let it run for a while so it can clear out a good portion of it. There's where it will drain. I got a filter stuffed in the drain pipe over there that heads out into the woods just so tadpoles don't escape. But it's very murky. There's a breeding fish population here. This one here, no matter what I put in here, the tadpoles are never hungry. They don't even want sweet watermelon because look how much algae is actually growing on the rocks under the water. That's their favorite. They won't eat anything else because of that. We got a big frog right here. And over here on this log, we got one tucked into that little hole. I wonder next week, because it's going to be like 90 something degrees most of the week, wonder if that little tree will survive out there. As the weather gets hotter, the moss is retreating because it's not able to absorb through the rotten wood as much. The water just turned on in here. Give it a few minutes, that drain will start working. Tadpoles love this pelleted food. They love this stuff. Once it softens up in the water, there'll be even more of a frenzy and they're eating it. We gotta be careful now. Can't really leave this stuff outside next to the ponds anymore because now we literally have the bear walking around the yard every day. Don't know why he's here. There's no food out, nothing for him. I noticed him on the doorbell camera every single day, even when I'm not here. Don't know why. He's not going in the garbage cans. It might be eating my raspberry bushes, honestly, because we have a lot of them starting to ripen. All right, everyone, it's been many hours later. That's been running almost 3 hours. The water turned crystal clear now, adding new water in there. Lots of tadpoles swimming around. There's a frog. There's another frog. They love those logs I put in here. Oh, another frog. They are always around in the grass here. That's why we leave a little barrier. We don't mow right up to it. But in the winter time, I'll mow up to it once they go into hibernation. Look at all the fish food and grass. It all got clogged around the little drain. It sloped in like a beaver dam. So we're just gonna quickly just throw that to the other side. Oh, look at it bubbling. Look at it bubbling. Unclogging that. It's at capacity because you see, there's a reducer. It's got a smaller pipe. That's why it's not going in rapidly. Let's go look at the other side real quick. Look at that. It's at capacity. There we go. A couple pieces of fish food coming out. At capacity. There we go. Levels drop back. Now it's back to normal. The siphon has broken. But it's trying to suck a little more. Let's look over here. They're eating it, but they're already getting to that stage when they grow legs. You come over, they're getting skittish. They're getting their natural fear of me now coming over to the ponds. We'll do a little bit of flushing in this pond too. There'll be frogs, some of them, in the next couple of weeks. Over here to the other pond, which also has a bit of a trickle coming out. Just a little bit. Ordinarily there'd be more, but we're prioritizing most of our water to the big pond today. And you see, not many tadpoles in this pond left. There were a ton if you saw my watermelon video, but the other frogs and snakes ate most of them, it appears. And the moss filter fountain's running. Lots of little strawberries all over the yard. We got wild strawberries everywhere. All right, everyone, back to the big pond. The water's been running at 8 gallons a minute for nearly 6 hours. Still looks pretty murky. I'll probably let it run throughout the night. Now, look at the pipe compared to before. Yeah, it is like half under the water instead of dribbling down. And you see how it's angled out at a 45-degree angle? I did that actually, honestly, just because it kind of looks cool. But it works nice. At a slight angle, it makes a slight rotation across the pond. And slight rotation going across the pond, everything's getting collected by that airline. Look, everything's just jamming against it. And if you look in the middle of the pipe, you see that wire coming out? That's a heat cable. If this thing ever froze in the winter where water couldn't get out of it, I just have to plug that thing in the wall in the basement and it will melt it right out. Water levels are higher now. Oh, frog. Oh, frog. Oh, another frog. Oh, oh, oh. I love that. Oh, it rained today, like a brief downpour. But if it didn't, there'd be even more frogs. I love how they're in the grass and as you walk around, they all jump. Oh, another one. Oh, there was a second one. Oh, another. We go over here to the drain. You see it kind of floods the woods. There's puddles all over the place. This is where it comes out into this little plunge pool. I only made this plunge pool because every now and then I can scoop. Otherwise, it'll make sediment build up on the inside of the pipe, which is not good. Oh, another frog. And here's the filter. Doesn't need to be unclogged yet. Nice. Look at all the mosquitoes buzzing around the top of the water. Can you see that? They want to lay eggs in here, and I hope they do. The fish in here would love to eat the mosquito larvae. Thanks for watching, everyone, and have a great day.